In Lesson 8 of Chapter 1, we're going to be multiplying algebraic expressions together. So in this one, we're going to try to multiply this monomial times this monomial. All that's multiplication. So in order to do that, we're just going to multiply the 2 times the negative 6, the a cubed times the a, and the b in the first term times the b squared. And when we do our multiplication, this just gives us negative 12, a to the fourth, and b to the third. Using those rules for exponents. When you multiply with the same base, then you add the exponents, right? And this a here has an understood 1 as an exponent. Now, in this next problem, what we're going to try to do is multiply this monomial on the outside times both terms on the inside. So we've got to multiply that times the first term, and then we've got to multiply that times the second term using the distributive property. So we have negative 5x squared y cubed times 2xy. And here we got a negative, I'm going to just put a plus sign here, plus negative 5x squared y cubed times negative y to the fourth. Now, when I do this arithmetic, that's going to give me a negative 10. Multiplying our x's, that's x cubed, and the y will give us y to the fourth. I do the same thing here with this. A negative times a negative is a positive, so we've got plus 5x squared, and then y cubed times y to the fourth is y to the seventh. So that's that product. Now, in this case, we're multiplying a binomial by binomial. So here we're going to follow a little procedure. You probably recall this from the past. FOIL, where you multiply the first, outer, inner, and then last terms. So we have this 2s times s. That's our first terms. So 2s times s is 2s squared. Well, let me write it down. 2s times s. And then that's going to end up giving us 2s squared. And then we multiply the outer terms. So that's this 2s times 4t. So that's going to be plus 2s times 4t. And that leaves us with 8st. Then we're going to multiply the inner terms, that's these two, negative 5t and s. Leave it like that. I'm putting the minus sign with the 5, negative 5t times s. So that gives us a negative 5ts. And then the last terms. And the last terms are going to be this negative 5t and 4t. Okay, so we'll multiply those together. Negative 5t. Up here. Negative 5t times a positive 4t. And then that will give us, down here, that is going to be, I think we get the right color here, that's going to be a negative 20t squared. Now, it might look like we're finished, but notice here, these two terms are like terms. Both of them have one t and one s. So we can combine those together, so we end up with 2s squared plus 3st minus 20t squared. Now for problem number 4, this one is squaring a binomial. And it may help you to go ahead and write it down as a binomial times a binomial. So we've got 3u plus 2v, and we're multiplying that times itself. That's what that power means. Times 3u plus 2v. So in this case, we do it the same way we did problem number 3. I'm kind of running out of room here. So my final answer, multiplying first terms together, is 9u squared. And the inner terms and the outer terms, that's going to be 3 times 2v. 3u times 2v is 6uv. And 2v times 3u is 6uv. Add those together, so that's going to give me a total of 12uv. And then the last terms give us 4v squared.